You are now listening to Nostalgia Untitled.
Come hang out with us as we travel back in time.
You know your history.
To the 90s and 2000s. The memories.
I'm True.
And I'm AJ.
Stick around while we talk about some of our old school favorite classics.
Now let's get nostalgic up in here.
Que lo que mis amores? The duo is back again, yet again. AJ, how have you been?
I've been good. Just enjoying. This week went by kind of fast.
A little too fast.
Yeah, went by really fast. And then I had a birthday dinner I went to yesterday, or day before yesterday. And then Saturday I just chilled. We're recording on a Sunday, so just to put that out there. So because our week was so busy. But yeah, my week has been pretty good. How about you?
You know, mine was pretty great. I went to FanX, and I had an amazing time with my friends. But just because, you know, I love getting to cosplay and I love getting to be in that environment where, you know, your little anime-esque antics won't be judged because everybody else is just as obsessed as you are.
Yeah.
But this, you know, for as long as I can remember, I've gone to like Comic-Con and last year was my first time at FanX. Had a great time, went for multiple days. This year, we could only go for one. And I went dressed as Mirko from My Hero Academia, if you know, you know. Mm-hmm. But I had, even just thinking about it right now, bro, I'm just getting a little bit emotional, to be honest with you. I had such an amazing time because I really felt like I was that bitch.
All right.
The amount of people that like stopped me for photos, like to take pictures of me or to take pictures with me, that's never happened to me before. In all of my years of like cosplaying and like going to cons, never had that happen before. And it was just so like, I kept looking around like, you're me? You want to? Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I had a little kid come up to me talking about how Mirko was her favorite superhero and how she wants to cosplay her one day and that she just loved the way that I did mine. And like, she's like, I saw you before, but I was too nervous to come up and ask you. And then when I saw you again, I was like, I just have to take this opportunity now to just take a photo. And I'm just like,
oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was real special. Honestly, kind of like this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like this episode. You know, we're taking this week to talk about Blues Clues.
Hey.
Good old Blues Clues. Before we get started, for those of you who don't know, Blues Clues is an American interactive educational children's television series. It was created by Angela C. Santomero, Todd Kessler, and Tracy Page Johnson, and premiered on Nickelodeon's Nick Jr. Back in September of 1996, and then concluded in August 2006. The original host that like us, our generation might remember, was Steve, who left in 2002. And then the younger generation might remember Donovan Patton, who played Joe. Did you watch Blues Clues growing up?
Absolutely. 100%. Are you kidding me?
Blues Clues? No, I should just mention, I'm talking about Blues Clues when Steve was the head honcho involved. Now, if you don't know what Blues Clues is, it's just a kid's show to help you with your reading and comprehensive learning skills as a kid.
And listening skills.
Me, I don't know. Honestly, maybe it started with Blues Clues, but whenever I liked something, I needed to have it.
You learned something from Blues Clues?
Honestly, I don't think I did. But I'm gonna be so for real with you. I'll be so for real. I don't think I did. But that did not change the love that I had for this show. Like, I'm sitting up here like trying to think back. I'm like, what the fuck was this show even about? Couldn't tell you a damn thing. Couldn't like.
That's what I said. You remember? You know, I was like, you remember it, Blues Clues? I was like all right, let's go.
Know, I remember the themes of like, you know, you just got a letter.
Yeah, you just got a letter. Ooh, you just got a letter. Find out where.
Okay.
I thought it was find out where it's from. I wonder where it's from. Whatever.
It's the same message.
Yeah.
You got mail, bitch. You got mail.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back and like, I don't remember any, like, the older I got, like when we talk about, you know, Steve departing and things like that. Yeah, that had an effect on me.
Yeah.
But like, as a kid, I just remember being obsessed with this dog, which honestly probably fueled my obsession with dogs when I was a kid.
Okay.
And why I had always wanted them around. But I can't. What life lessons did I learn from Blues Clues? Like, the fuck?
Hopefully, like you said earlier, hopefully you learned how to comprehend better. You learned how to do
Still
tasks.
sucking with that shit. What are you talking about?
That's why I said you probably didn't learn anything.
I'm like, bro,
But like for me, growing up, Blues Clues was one of my favorite shows.
It wasn't?
It was one of my favorite shows. I was a Nick Jr. kid, so I watched Blues Clues. I watched Oswald. I watched like all the other shows. I watched Spot. Like I was a Nick Jr. kid. And for me, I always loved Blue. And his.
You said Nick Jr. kid. I thought you said Nigerian kid, and I was like, I thought we had went over.
Remember I said remember we were supposed to learn. I said remember we were supposed to learn listening comprehension skills. Yeah, you didn't learn it. You didn't learn it.
I caught up. It just takes me a little bit. And honestly, the most of us is like that. We just take us a loop around.
Understand?
Just wrap it around.
You're about 2 days slow. I get it. But yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure, you're right. But grew up learning Blues Clues and learning from Blues Clues. I love Steve. I loved my favorites were Salt, Pepper, and when they had their baby, Paprika. And then also Blue and Magenta. Magenta was like
that duo.
Yeah, Magenta is actually the boy and Blue is actually the girl, and that was really cool.
I remember when I like learned that, I thought I was like, it was way after the fact, like years after the fact, and I was like, what? There's no way that's real.
Yeah,
it blew my mind. It was one of those like,
ain't no binaries here. Get out of here.
Here for it. You know,
yeah.
This is from a kid. People complain about that now, but I'm like, bro, it's always been there.
It's always been like that.
Like, you're shoving that down our throats, down our children's throats, and it's like, bro, it's always been there.
Yep.
You're just not paying attention.
Yep. I used to love when Steve used to go outside, and go outside to like the garden and stuff, and like meet all the plants. Like that was like my favorite. Like
he was the king of being in the house.
Yeah, he had the biggest. House he had a huge house in my head. So, but it was small on the outside.
Hey,
but that's the magic of a child show.
TARDIS is bigger on the inside. I used to have like everything Blues Clues, like curtains, blankets, comforters, the stuffies. That's why I think like it started with Blues Clues, because even now as an adult, I mean, I feel like more like as an adult now, I indulge myself in the things that I like that I couldn't get as a kid because if we couldn't afford it or anything like that, so that's different. But when it was like my parents buying me things, anytime we got the opportunity to buy myself things, it'd always be Blues Clues theme. Or, you know, when I grew out of that and I got into something else, I would just be stuck on it, right? I needed everything in all the colors of the same thing.
Yeah.
That's how much I loved Blues Clues. Oh my goodness. I remember getting into arguments with my mom because she's like, it's time for you to get rid of these comforters, or it's time for you to like grow out of Blues Clues. And I'd be like, it's time for you to go to hell. Like, I'm not giving up on Blue. Like, I don't know what you expect from me, but I'm not giving up on Blue. I actually remember.
I was like,
what were you gonna say?
I said when I was younger, I actually got to go visit this place called King's Dominion, which is in, I believe, North Carolina, and the whole theme of that particular theme park at the time. Now it's not that, but it's where Nickelodeon used to be. So yeah, I actually got to go visit like Blues Clues when I was little, and like so yeah, that's how I remember. I remember like.
My jaw's to the floor. I am so jealous.
Yeah. So
like, are you serious?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I got to do that, which was like really cool. And it was super fun. I'll show you the pic. Let me see. You guys can't see it. Maybe I'll like post a clip of it. But yeah, you get to like go inside like the little house.
Nah.
Yeah. And so I got to do that. And then we also went to Universal when I was like little too. And I got to like do like Nickelodeon things too. So Like,
I only now as an adult got to experience Disney for the first time.
oh yeah. But I mean, I think I also was the only child. So for me,
you were lonely.
I was raised as the only child. I had a lot of cousins, and so my mom didn't have to pay for my cousins, so it was just me.
So you got spoiled.
So yeah, not spoiled. It was just that I had the privilege of being an only child, and I don't deal with those hands.
That's why you're weird today, huh?
You know,
that's why you got those weird tendencies because you grew up alone, huh?
No, I mean,
you ain't never had to fight for the leftover food.
I don't know.
You never had to fight for the remote, huh?
I don't know. Yeah, I never had because I had my own TV. So
damn, damn.
Never had to worry about it. Sorry.
I don't know what it's like. The battle scars that you stay with after growing up with siblings.
You know what I got? Memories.
Shut your mouth. Jeez, literally, that's what I mean. Growing up with siblings and so my mom and my aunt, we lived literally in the same complex next to each other, right? Just a door apart.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were close with my cousins when we were younger. So a little too close, because when I think back, the amount of times that I wanted to beat my cousin's ass was just way too many. I've literally done I punched her in the mouth one time because she called my dad. That's how close we were.
Okay.
Because she would hear us calling dad. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's my dad. Don't you dare ever say that again. You scum. I was so upset. I don't feel that way now. I mean, I probably would.
Y'all was just learning all the behaviors from your parents, huh? Damn,
and so listen.
Y'all was learning how to communicate, huh?
Yo, for my cousin, I had it out for her 1 year for Christmas. So my mom was weird about just leaving us places. Wherever she went, she would take us with her.
Yes.
And this year in particular, we were going Christmas shopping. Mm-hmm. And it was this giant Blues Clues plush that she had put in the cart. And me, I'm like, ooh, mine. She knows that I love Blues Clues. She knows this is mine, right? She's like, this isn't for you. This is for your cousin. And I'm like, the bitch don't watch Blues Clues. Why the fuck would you get her a Blues Clues plush? I cried because I was like, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to end her life.
Wait, you just called me spoiled and you cried over not getting a Blues Clues plushie?
I cried because she was going to get my cousin a Blues Clues.
Yeah,
my cousin who did not appreciate Blues Clues' charm.
That's spoiled.
No, I was it was like, you ain't never loved something. You ain't never loved something. So, and appreciate and cherish it. And then to see somebody else get it and not know what to do with it.
I never had that experience.
I was like,
because for me, I had a first cousin. And so first cousins in black households are like your brother, right? So for me, we would get all the same things. When I got a PlayStation, he got a PlayStation.
Yeah.
When I got a Sega Genesis, he got a Sega Genesis. When I get toys, he gets the exact same toys, maybe in a different color. When I get a phone, he got a phone. When I got an iPhone, he got an iPhone. That's just the way
Yes, but the thing
is,
she didn't watch Blues Clues. She did not like Blues Clues. She did not appreciate Blues Clues the way I did. So me sitting there as a child, seething in tears because I'm like, bro, she don't even know the characters. She don't even appreciate Blue's charm. She can't have this. I'm so upset about it. Well, and it's just fueled that thing of I'm gonna punch her in her mouth again. I'm gonna punch her in her mouth again.
As an adult, have you researched this plushie and see if you could get it? You should do that to see if you can just get it for yourself.
See, I mean, come Christmas time, it was for me. She just told me that lie because we were there with her.
So you made dramatic. No way.
Listen, my acting skills came from somewhere, okay? It was the principle. And the moral of the action. Because why you gonna tell me it's for somebody else? You know it's gonna upset me. You knew how obsessed I was with Blues Clues.
I would have put that.
So why would you do that?
If I was your mom, I'd have put that shit back, and you'd have never got it. My mom was petty like that. She was like, if you're gonna be dramatic, all right, you're never gonna get it. And that teach me that.
She definitely threatened. She was like, you better tighten that shit up immediately. You better shut that shit up before I beat your ass. Because parents don't fucking play. At least mine didn't. She's like, I will, give you that little pinch, hold your hand your shoulder, thinking that she's just being a gentle parent, but really she's squeezing the life out of you. You better tighten the fuck up right now.
Well, for me as a child, growing up with Blues Clues, I had all the Blues Clues stuff too. I had a Blues Clues blanket as well.
Not more than me.
I mean, it's not a competition.
It is, and I win every time.
But yeah, I had all the stuff. I remember they had Blues Clues. I look it up to this day. It was so good. The Blues Clues applesauce. It was so fucking good. I had Blues Clues.
That's the one thing.
Yeah, I had Blues Clues applesauce, and all the time when it was out at the time, it has to be like the late '90s, and that was amazing. And I remember it turned my poop blue. So
my mom would not get me that. She's like, I'm not wasting my money on this. You need proper food.
It was actually healthy. It was a blueberry. It was a blueberry
She's
and
like,
apples.
well, no, to her, it was like, you only want this because it's got the damn dog on it. She's like, you and that damn dog, you know?
But yeah, my mom got it for me, and it was like my favorite. It was like, I want to do like a little series on like nostalgic foods to see if we can recreate them or get them. That'd be like fun to do.
eBay.
I looked on eBay. Number one, I'm not eating an applesauce from 1998. I'm sorry. What? Can you spell botulism? Like, I would die. Like, what? I'll recreate and like make it. I have apples. I can like make Blues Clues applesauce from like.
That's gonna turn your tongue blue?
Well, it turned my poop blue. I told you that. So.
Oh, I thought you said it turned your tongue blue.
No, it turned my
I didn't realize you said poop. Goodbye. Not you putting that on the podcast. And yeah, just turn my poop blue. Cute.
I remember when I was a kid. I was so excited. I was like, what? I was like,
that's you standing over the toilet, just watching your.
Yeah, because it was like
blue.
Like
blue
I'm pretty sure that part was not good for me, but it was like fucking blue, like Blues Clues fucking
like,
blue.
Hey, if I ever start shitting out blue, like I'll be fighting for my life in that toilet. You better send some help. Send some help. Because that's not natural.
But yeah, it was so I really love Blues Clues. I love Steve. Steve was my road dog I love Steve so much. He just was so gentle and kind and like I love Steve.
Can we talk about when Steve left? Bro, and so like but when he left, like I had grown out of Blues Clues. Like we were adults, you know, we were on the older side of this.
Yes.
My jaw fucking dropped. I was like, what the fuck you mean he's leaving? Where is he going? But if you think about it, he's not that much older than us now.
He's not. Wait, how old is Steve from Blues Clues?
Look that up, bro. He's not that much older. If not anything, he's like close to us.
Friend, he's 47 years old. This man.
That's not old. That's not old.
It's almost.
I mean, I don't consider that old. As somebody who's 31, like I don't think.
Yeah,
I would date a 47-year-old man.
But like
you said we were. I'm lying. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you said we were close. You said we were close in age. That man was 28 years old, and we were like.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's super on that side of the.
Yeah, for sure. Spectrum. When Steve left for me, I was upset at first. But I think they did it really well in like the transition of like Steve to who took over for him? Joe? Yeah. So so from Steve to Joe, it was a pretty smooth transition for me. But also I was also growing out of Blues Clues anyway. And I think they already knew most of us were. I mean, you probably weren't. You probably were a little stuck. But for most of the people, we were like moving on. We were moving on to like the actual Nickelodeon or like, you know. Like it was. I mean,
I think it felt like it was a smooth transition because the kids who had grown up with Steve were already on the older side. And I watched an interview where he talked about how I will say I love how he just kept making videos for us after the fact. Mm-hmm. Like he talked about it where he's like, can we just talk about how I just left? He's like, it was kind of abrupt. And I think if you were still an avid watcher, it would have felt like that. It would have felt abrupt because it's like all of a sudden one day he's like, hey, I'm going off to college. Here's my cousin, or what is it? Was it his cousin or his brother?
Yeah, I think his cousin. No?
His cousin Joe's coming to replace him. And I remember seeing clips of Joe who was going to be replacing him. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Who's this somebody? You know?
I watched Joe's Blues Clues a little bit too because I had little cousins, so we watched together. And like for me, Joe was cool. I fucks with Joe.
I ain't got no problem with Joe, but you better believe me hearing that Steve was leaving. I was like, what the fuck? Who gonna replace Steve? Be so for real. Who can do what Steve can do? No one.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah, but
And then like,
I don't know.
and on top of that, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just because of the big staple that he had on my life, where I'm just like, I don't want to watch this if it's not with Steve.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I probably felt that too as a kid. I guess I'm looking at it in the eyes of 30-year-old me now, and I'm like, oh yeah, it seemed pretty normal that we were all growing up and we were all growing out of it, and so they had to revamp the show in order to keep the core audience, which is about 4 to 8 or 4 to 10 maybe. And so I get it. They wanted to transition. They wanted to do what they needed to do. And Steve explained that he was going to college. And with the new Blues Clues, you got to see Blue actually start talking because you would go to like Blues Clubhouse or something. And so you would see Blue talk and have conversations. And I think it became, the show had transitioned and evolved with the times, you know?
Fuck that. Like, yes, like as an adult, I can understand logistically what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
But fuck that.
I'm
not with the shits.
Yeah, I think maybe for me, I probably was also thinking that as, when did Steve leave? What year did Steve leave?
But I mean, he talked, while you looked that up, like he had talked about how he had been growing older, his hair was falling out, like he was just like, it was time, you know? And I as a rational adult, I can understand that. I can support that.
Like,
but little old me's upset. My little old me's upset. Like, it's like my dad was leaving, bro. Where you going? He said, I'm gonna go for milk and never come back.
I said, you were 11, I was 10.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, so.
That sounds about right.
So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Maybe 10-year-old me probably was like, all right, on to the next, because I watched so much TV anyway. So I watched, but I was also a big, like, Bears in the Big Blue House type of kid, too. So it was.
Yeah, no, I watched
both, so.
I was pretty not okay with that. But, you know, years later.
You're getting emotional even right now.
Well, I'm thinking of the video that he posted when he was just like, oh my God, is that you?
Yeah.
It's been so long. Bro, because it just like reminded me of like how big Blue's Clues was for me. It was such a big deal. Like I think back on like, you know, the way that I grew up and why I would just like clutch onto the things that I had, you know, loved and appreciated. I got to escape into this Blue's Clues world, right? Got transported into this environment of comfort and just ease. And Steve was such a big part of that, right? Because he was the ringleader of it all and everything like that. And when he posted that video of like, oh my God, you've gotten so big and blah, blah, it was just like, oh shit, like this wasn't just like a kid's show, right? Where it's just like, he's like, it was very nostalgic. It was very just like, I haven't forgotten about you. And we're getting older, obviously. This is just what we do. It's natural. But I have not forgotten about you. And I wanted you to know that. And fuck, did that just...
Yeah.
God,
I loved it. I loved it when I saw it, because I saw it on TikTok. It was like 4 years ago at this point. But I remember seeing it, and it was pretty like sad and emotional, because it's also like, you know, we are getting older. I was at the end of my 20s, and so it was just like I felt like it was the ushering into like the new part of my adulthood. And Steve definitely was an integral part for me growing up and me learning and me thinking about like context clues, and like it was literally looking for the paw print and things like that. So for me, it was definitely when he made that video, it was like, oh yeah, all the 90s kids are grown. All the 90s kids pretty much are in their mid-20s to early 30s. So like,
yeah.
So it makes sense that we would get emotional, because we're all grown, like grown adults, and like self-sufficient, taking care of ourselves adults, most of us at this point. And so yeah, it was emotional. You know what I mean? I don't cry because I'm a thug, but
Not me, bitch. I cried the drop of a hat. You look at me wrong, I'm gonna fucking cry. Okay, I'll beat your ass, but I'll cry about it.
but yeah, it didn't make me it made me emotional, but like a happy emotional, not like it doesn't give me like I need to cry emotion. It gives me like it gives me a sense of peace.
But I cried.
Yeah, I was about to say it gives me a sense of peace. Yeah.
It came with all of that, but also tears. And then when I rewatched the video, immediately just fucking sobbing. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
I just really love Blue's Clues, man.
Yeah, I said Blue's Clues was your show. It was the show that you really loved.
Like when you talk about, oh hey, like what are some of like the nostalgic shows that you had and this and that, it's Blue's Clues. Like that's one thing that I can remember very vividly. Can't remember the themes, can't remember what I learned. I can only remember the love and the peace that the show gave me. And honestly, that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. I think
that's
yeah. Steve is definitely or not Steve. Blue's Clues in general. It was a pretty integral part of our childhoods. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you want to take a break?
I think.
Or no?
Yes, I was gonna say I think that's a perfect time for us to test your Blue's Clues knowledge.
Oh, I know
with
it.
A little Blue's Clues quiz after our little commercial break.
Oh yeah, I got this.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself in a breathtaking situation? You know, when your friend's breath could make a skunk jealous? Ugh. Well, fret no more. Introducing Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum, the savor of fresh breath and friendship. With Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum, you could save your friendship and your nostrils in one swift chew. Imagine this. You're enjoying a hangout with your buddies and suddenly a toxic cloud of stink takes over. Panic sets in. What's the solution? Unleash the major power of Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum. Become the hero of fresh breath, its tiny minty miracle. Each piece individually wrapped, guaranteeing minty freshness and germ-free goodness. Just chew, share, and witness the magical transformation. Friends draw closer and bad breath becomes a forgotten tale. Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum comes in an array of tantalizing flavors, spoiling you for choice. So, bid farewell to foul breath and say hello to refreshing awesomeness. Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum, the ultimate breath-sharing experience. Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum, fresh breath for everyone. Share the joy, freshen up, and have some fun.
Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum is intended to provide a refreshing breath experience, but it is important to be aware of the potential side effects some individuals may experience temporary discomfort, such as bloating, indigestion, and increased saliva production. In rare cases, allergic reactions may occur, resulting in symptoms like itching, swelling, and difficulty breathing. Moreover, excessive consumption of Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum may lead to tooth or gum sensitivity. It is advised to consult with a healthcare provider professional if you experience any adverse reactions. Minty's Refreshing Mint Gum is not recommended for children under the age of 5 and should be used in moderation by individuals with dental and digestive sensitivities.
And we're back. Okay, can I just say, when I looked for this quiz, I had to find one that had to do with more of like Blue's Clues old school.
Okay.
And not like shit with like Joe and shit. I'm bro, I'm not with the shits with you right now. I need you to just.
It's called, the new show is called Blue's Clues and You.
Hate that.
Why? You're not a child anymore.
Yes, I am. I'm Peter Pan.
The kids gotta have their own show too.
Fuck them kids.
The host of the new Blue's Clues is Josh. His name is Josh Delacruz. He's the cousin of Steve and Joe from the original series. That's so cute. Like, that's so cute that little kids get to grow up with the same type of. Imagine the little kid that's growing up, right? And he or she or they are going to grow up to be have these memories just like you. You know what I mean? You gotta look at it that way, because they're gonna be able to like see it and have Blue in their life just like you did, and that's amazing. You say fuck them kids, but you probably really know that that's pretty sweet. That a kid, because you know, it's really cute.
I wish I could see my face right now. Fuck them kids.
God damn
Let's
it.
get to the quiz. Okay, so we should definitely... Oh, well, maybe not. Okay. Question 1.
All right.
Steve, Blue's previous owner... Oh, yeah, you should definitely know this. Steve, Blue's previous owner, always wears a shirt of what color?
Green.
What do Steve or Joe do when they find a clue?
What do they do?
Yeah. Blue doesn't leave clues. Write it, draw it, store it into memory.
Draw it.
Okay. What is the name of the clock? Is it ticky-tock, ringer, bell, numbers?
Numbers?
Oh, tickety. Tickety.
Oh, no. Tickety-tock. Yeah, it's tickety-tock.
Sorry, I read that wrong the first time.
Not sabotage you.
Oh, you should probably know this one.
Okay.
Paprika, Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper's daughter, has a baby brother. What is his name? Is it parsley, basil, oregano, or cinnamon?
Oregano. No.
No?
Oregano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve has just found all 3 clues, but he can't figure out what book Blue wants to have read to her. Can you help him, please? The clues are a bear, a table, and a chair. What's the book? Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, Jack and the Beanstalk, Hansel and Gretel, Peter Rabbit.
I don't understand the question, so I'm going to go with bear.
Let me try reading it again.
Yeah.
Because the clues are to what book it is. So
Oh.
Steve has just found all 3 clues, but he can't figure out what book Blue wants to have read to her.
Okay.
Can you help him with this, please?
Yep.
The clues are a bear, a table, and a chair.
Oh. 3 Little Bears.
Goldilocks and the 3 Bears.
Isn't that the same book? Yes.
Okay, but that's not the answer is Goldilocks. The choice, I should say, is Goldilocks and the 3 Bears.
Goldilocks and the 3 Bears.
Again, Steve has found 3 more clues, but it needs more help. What does Blue want to drink? Here are the clues: chocolate syrup, a glass, and some milk. The options are a milkshake, a cup of tea, a soda. She just wants to eat the ice cream out of the glass.
A milkshake. Her milkshake brings all the boys to the
How the fuck though does a milkshake and chocolate syrup make ice cream or make a milkshake?
Eat ice, but that's pretty much all you need.
Joe has just finished finding today's clues. He needs your help to figure out what Blue needs to do before bed. Here are the clues: a towel, bubbles, a rubber duck. What does Blue need to do?
Take a shower. Wash his ass. Wash her ass.
Okay, we've got to hurry up and find the clues today. Today is Blue's first day of kindergarten. What does Blue need to do before she starts the school day? Here are the clues: toast, a bowl of cereal, and a glass of chocolate milk. Go to the grocery store shopping with Steve, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, or do laundry.
Go to the grocery store.
You're kidding, right?
He said, he said what?
Here are the clues: toast, a bowl of cereal, and a glass of chocolate milk. What does she need to do?
Eat.
Eat breakfast.
Well, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did. I said go to grocery store shopping with Steve, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and do the laundry.
Oh, eat breakfast and do the laundry.
No, like eat breakfast, do the laundry is a separate one. So
Oh.
eat breakfast. Jeez. Okay. Blue gets a new pair of sunglasses, but she doesn't know what the color to get. Based on these 3 things, what color sunglasses would be the best choice for Blue? Here are the clues that she left for Joe: an apple, fire engine, and a cherry. And the color availables are yellow, purple, pink, and red.
Red. Not these child ass questions. What's going on?
Right? I'm like, what is going on? Oh. Okay. I thought more of them were going to be like this.
Yeah.
What is the name of the mailbox? Stamps, mailbox, envelope, letter.
Mailbox. What? Why would you call that man Stamps? Even though Stamps is a pretty hard fucking nickname.
Ooh. You got the paprika one wrong.
What was it? Cinnamon?
Her baby brother. Yeah, it was cinnamon.
Yeah. I figured. I was like, I don't know why I thought it was oregano, but it was cinnamon. Yeah. Most teachers let you go back and correct the answers, so I got all of them right. Great.
Not you being delusional.
It wasn't delusional. I knew it was cinnamon. I just said oregano to throw you off.
Right, yeah. All right, that was a 9 out of 10. I mean, honestly, quiz was kind of ass. It was for our basic... That quiz was a homage to our childhood, because you know damn well little us would be sitting there like, damn, what does she need? She got the cereal in front of her, the toast and some milk. What she got to do right now?
But let's be clear. Steve was very articulate and clear. Very articulate and clear. Someone was.
You don't have comprehensive skills.
Someone wasn't reading correctly.
How dare you? How dare you? All right, guys. So that's the episode this week. Just something a little sweet, something to bring back some good old memories. If you have any fond Blues Clues memories, let us know in the comments. We definitely want to have some more engagement with you guys and hear what your thoughts are. And we're signing off until next time.
Absolutely.